in Rajasthan. Do you project your former chief minister? Do you go without projecting her? Is that a risk? Can she do what B.S. Yedurappa did in Karnataka, mar the party's chances to some extent? Or can pinch hitter Modi hit it out of the park without needing another batsman?
First of all, I want to say that apart from Yashwant Deshmukh's survey, I think the fact that Rahul and Rajdeep are so keen to know our chief ministerial candidate shows that you have confirmed that our government is coming 100%. Therefore, I thank you for that conclusion. Secondly, Rahul and Rajdeep, you have covered Bengal elections. We did not have government there or chief minister there. Did we project a face there? Delhi elections, we have not had a government there. Did we project a face there? Wherever we have not got a sitting chief minister, whenever we fight those elections, the trend is that we go for the election, our elected MLAs and the parliamentary parliamentary board decide when we win the elections. So I think that program or that format will be continued. But today the main contender...
With one exception, Mr. Poonawalla, Vasundhara Raje has been chief minister twice in Rajasthan. So she's not some unknown quantity. And when I look at in the survey, according to you, should the BJP project a CM face in Rajasthan? BJP supporters 61% are saying yes.
I'm coming to that in just a moment.
Okay.
But Rajdeep, but just let me complete. Rajdeep, I said, do we have a current government in Rajasthan? Do we have a sitting chief minister? Let me tell you today, Rajdeep, everyone is talking about this. This is the red diary.
That's the Lal diary that's missing.
This is the red diary.
Is that the answer to the mystery?
Well, the real red diary and its pages are with Mr. Gehlot.
So you made up your own diary. That's what Gehlot is saying. Ye khud banayi hui
Black deeds of Mr. Gehlot are all there, and people of Rajasthan are today asking that how many paper leaks have taken place and why are the main accused of the paper leaks with Rahul Gandhi, Kopal Kesawat? Why is it that Salman Khurshid is defending the mastermind of the paper leak cases, which is Mr. Suresh Dhaka? Today, unbelievable corruption, breaking of promises. They said that they will give Kisan Karz Maafi. 19,000 farmers lost their lands. Highest unemployment rates in Rajasthan. These are the issues that people are grappling with. And on the other hand, when Mr. Modi has been delivering for Rajasthan, 9 medical colleges, we have made it 35. We have given over 3.5 crore people bank accounts. 13,000 crores have been transferred into their accounts. 80 lakh toilets have been built. 75 lakh farmers have got 10,000 crores. This is Modi ji's guarantee for Rajasthan.
The big question for the BJP is, should they project Vasundhara Raje? The big question for the Congress is, on whose face should the Congress contest? Sachin Pilot has been asking the question, apna time kab aayega? Let's take a look at the responses to this question. 41% of the respondents in this C-voter poll say the Congress should contest with Ashok Gehlot as its face. 30% say Sachin Pilot should be the face. And if I look at the same question and break it down under Congress and BJP supporters, you will then get a sense of how amongst the Congress supporters, more people want Ashok Gehlot to be the chief ministerial face. 55% of Congress supporters saying they want Ashok Gehlot. Only 28% of Congress supporters want Sachin Pilot. So amongst Congress supporters, Rahul Srivastav, Sachin's popularity is less than his overall popularity. And that is his biggest dharam sankat.
See, Rahul, over the last 5 years, Gehlot has been able to do one thing. He has managed to push Sachin Pilot to a point that Sachin has virtually nothing left. And the people in India, the voters, sense these things, that how influential a person is. They will bet put their bets on a horse which they think can emerge ahead of the other one. So Ashok Gehlot has, anyway, the basic dialogue going around in Rajasthan is what Ashok Gehlot has done to Sachin Pilot is what Ajit said in a movie. Isko liquid oxygen mein dal do, liquid जीने नहीं देगा, oxygen मरने नहीं देगा. That's the kind of thing that Congress leaders themselves are talking about in Rajasthan today. Now, in that scenario, since Sachin, though Sachin does command a certain area, especially the Dhundad area, where there is a sizable support for Sachin, beyond that area, in the 4 other regions, Sachin has a problem. Whereas in one of the bigger regions, like where Gehlot and Sachin and other, that is the Marwar region, where there are 61 seats. That's where lies Gehlot's strength. So Gehlot controls a wider territory.
And that's the big problem,
in
Rohan
Rajasthan.
Gupta. From the Congress's perspective, you'd like to look beyond Ashok Gehlot. So many promises have been made by the Congress High Command to Sachin Pilot. But even at this moment, Ashok Gehlot is, according to the C voter data, the bigger leader in Rajasthan, and more Congress voters would like you to fight the next election with Gehlot as your face.
Rahul, even before 5 years, the same question was asked to Congress party to declare the CM candidate. We never did that, and after that, now we are after 4.5 years. Your survey is showing that popularity of Gehlot is high. See, at the end of the day, Rahul, for us, for Congress party, it is what we promised to the people and what we delivered. This is the first government in the country which can release the compliance report to its manifesto. We have finished 83% of our promises. I dare BJP spokesperson to challenge that. This is a booklet which has been released. So my point here is, just 2 days back, we have released subsidy to ensure that gas cylinder is available to people of Rajasthan at 500 rupees per cylinder. So we talk about policies, we talk about performance. Let people decide whom they want to vote. They have voted Congress party in power 4.5 years back. We have delivered the promises, and it's upon people to decide. But at the same time, Rahul, I want to make one point very, very clear. Even before Karnataka elections, we were discussing the same point, where the state leadership of BJP Karnataka was finished by central leadership because of their arrogance. Yedurappa was pushed to a particular border, and he was never allowed to go beyond that.
But
they are going to
Karnataka is not a Hindi heartland state. The popularity of the Prime Minister, his ability to connect with audiences, speak the language the citizens and voters understand, is much higher in a state like Rajasthan than it is in Karnataka, where in many parts people don't understand Hindi.
Rahul, let me be very clear. Even when Karnataka election started, it was told that it will be in face of Mr. Modi, the election will be fought and won. What happened? I will deny with this report that, okay, he is more popular in Rajasthan compared to Karnataka. Karnataka, he was the face under which BJP fought the election and lost badly. You need to understand that the politics of country is changing, Rahul.
Okay.
People understand that state elections are for electing the CM and not PM. They know that whatever.
Now the Congress is attempting some kind of a rapprochement between Gehlot and Pilot. What do voters think of this? Can this pact between Ashok Gehlot and Sachin Pilot prove to be a masterstroke? Was the C voter question. Let me give you the responses to this. Now, when the question was asked, can there be a pact, and also if there is a successful pact, can it be a masterstroke? Now, critical to this question is whether the pact actually holds. 45% say yes. If it holds, it will prove to be a masterstroke. 35% saying no, it will not be a masterstroke. But whether the pact holds, and that's where I want to go across to Sharad Kumara, Bureau Chief in Rajasthan. दिखाने के लिए तो जो दोनों की लड़ाई है उसको ख़त्म कर दिया गया है। सर, कांग्रेस हाईकमांड ने बोला है कि आप लोग मिल के काम कीजिए। क्या वाकई में दोनों के जो गिले शिकवे हैं वो दूर हो गए हैं, या सिर्फ दिखा रहे हैं कि हमारी दोस्ती हो गई, लेकिन पर्दे के पीछे एक दूसरे को काटने में अभी भी लगे हुए हैं?
राहुल, मैं तो सोच रहा हूँ कि वो कौन से 35% है जो सोच रहे हैं कि दोनों के बीच वाकई में दोस्ती हो गई है। जो भी राजनीति को जानने वाले हैं वो सोच भी नहीं सकते हैं कि दोनों के बीच दोस्ती हो सकती है। ये स्थिति है, मिल भी नहीं सकते हैं। दोस्ती की बात तो छोड़ दीजिए, अभी तक मिल भी नहीं पाए हैं, एक दूसरे से बातचीत भी नहीं कर पाए हैं। तो ये दूरी इतनी ज़्यादा है कि ये संभव नहीं है, और इसी की वजह से इस तरह के हालात हैं भी। देखिए, राजस्थान की सिनेरियो की हम जो बात कर रहे हैं, तो प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी की कर्नाटक चुनाव के बाद लगातार मैं रैलियां कवर कर रहा हूं। भीलवाड़ा, सिरोही, अजमेर, दौसा, ये 4 रैलियों में लोग बिल्कुल रिस्पॉन्स नहीं कर रहे थे। उसके बाद बीजेपी की रणनीति बदली है, और बीकानेर रैली से जो उठाव शुरू हुआ है, सीकर के रैली के कल का इतना ओवरवेलमिंग रिस्पांस था कि उस रैली के रिस्पांस को देखने के बाद मुझे लग रहा था कि किसी फेस की शायद जरूरत नहीं पड़े राजस्थान में, क्योंकि मोदी अपने पूरे रंग में थे। अब पहले अपनी योजनाओं को गिना रहे थे, और योजनाएं जब गिना रहे थे तो पब्लिक ऊँग रही थी, और यही हाल मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत की सभाओं में होता है। अपनी योजनाओं को गिनाते हैं, वो ऊँगती है। पता नहीं योजनाएं लोग तो पहुँचती है नहीं पहुँचती हैं, इस पर बात।
मैं ये कह रहा था कि हम लोग सेम ब्यूरो कॉन्फ्रेंस में थे, और वहाँ पे तमाम स्ट्रिंगर से बात करके जो तस्वीर उभरी शरद, वो ये कि काफ़ी सॉलिड एंटी इनकम्बेंसी राजस्थान में इस वक्त दिख रही है।
जी बिल्कुल दिखाई दे रही है। इसलिए दिखाई दे रही है कि देखिए मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत को शायद आपको याद होगा कि जब पहले कार्यकाल में हम चुनाव में जा रहे थे उनके, तो इंडिया टुडे ने उनको इस देश का बेस्ट सीएम करार दिया था और तब अपने इतिहास की दूसरी सबसे बुरी हार हारे थे, क्योंकि अशोक गहलोत के खिलाफ कभी मैंने गुस्सा देखा ही नहीं। दूसरी बार इतिहास के सबसे बुरी हार हारे 21 पर, तब भी जब भी मिलते थे तो एक साल तो कहीं कहते थे कि हम क्यों हार गए। कभी भी मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत के काम को लेकर और उनके फेस को लेकर नाराजगी नहीं रही है, मगर कांग्रेस में जिस तरह से काम उनके कार्यकाल में होता है, इतनी ज़्यादा एंटी इनकम्बेंसी होती है। अब बिजली को लेकर चारों तरफ हंगामा मचा हुआ है कि बिजली बिल में छूट दी जा रही है, कितना ज़्यादा सरचार्ज लग रहा है, बिजली आ भी नहीं रही है। दूसरा, पूरे देश में हल्ला हो गया कि राइट टू हेल्थ बिल पास हुए कितने दिन हो गए, उसके नियम कानून नहीं बने आज तक। तो ये सारे जो मसले हैं कि एक हवा बना लेना काम का और फिर वो काम पहुंचना नहीं, इसलिए एंटी इनकम्बेंसी तो है। देखिए वहां पर अगर जाते हैं तो पर्सनली नाराजगी मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत से नहीं हो सकती और कभी नहीं रही है। उनके तीसरे कार्यकाल में मैं देख रहा हूं कि उनसे कभी नाराजगी नहीं रहती है, मगर उनके नेतृत्व में जो सरकार होती है 2 बार सबसे बुरी हार हारी है और इस बार कहा जा रहा है कि मुकाबला देने के लिए तैयार हैं। मगर जो बात होती है, फीडबैक मिलता है जमीन पर, उसके अनुसार बीजेपी की स्थिति बेहतर है, चेहरा हो चाहे नहीं हो। मुझे लग रहा है कि बीजेपी के पास फीडबैक होगा। हालांकि देखिए चुनाव में हम कहने वाले कौन होते हैं किसकी बेहतर स्थिति है, मगर जो फीडबैक हमें मिल रहा है उसके अनुसार मुख्यमंत्री अशोक गहलोत के लोग जो बताते हैं कि उनको भी लग रहा है कि मामला टफ है राजस्थान में। जी
Several villages in Turbang areas were burned in the ethnic clashes, the violence and all. I see only the footprints, everything that burned to these ashes. They blame for everything that is happening here to the Kuki government.
We are only defending ourselves.
There is a literally line of this area towards the Kuki side where you have a huge number of bunkers. No one could ever imagine that in a state, in the same country, in the same district, we will ever see such situation which has become a battlefield. And I could say this is a war zone in Manipur.
Grounded in journalism, on the ground reporting, only on India Today TV. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com. Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
What's the view on the performance of the Gehlot government on law and order? 42% of the respondents say he's done a good job. 50% of the respondents in this C-voter poll say the Gehlot government has not delivered on law and order. 63% of the Congress voters think he's been good. 29% think he's been bad, but amongst BJP voters, those who think the performance has been bad is naturally much higher. Will these populist schemes work? Because that's the Gehlot government's big hope. Load the voters with freebies and maybe that will work. 46% of the overall respondents say yes, 45% say no. Rajdeep, on the question of law and order, it seems that more people think his government has fared badly, and on the issue of populist schemes working, opinion seems to be quite divided. Gehlot has a track record of leading his party to a disastrous defeat at the end of 5 years in power.
Yes, Rahul. The fact is, Ashok Gehlot's last 5 years, if we look at his 5 years, you've got to divide it into two halves. The first 3 years were a complete disaster, 2.5 years. Why? Wiped out in the Lok Sabha elections, including his son getting defeated. The Sachin pilot revolt takes place in 2020, 2021. Most of the country was battling COVID, 2020 and 21. Ashok Gehlot was hemmed in both within and outside for much of the first 3 years. I think the Gehlot government has really woken up post-October when he actually, in a way, challenged the Congress High Command and said, I'm not going to become Congress President, I will stay on as Congress Chief Minister. In the last 6 to 8 months, many of his schemes, which had even been initiated earlier, like Chiranjeevi, which according to me is a very good scheme, the health scheme, but the gas cylinder, minimum income guarantee, which he's just put out, schemes for women, all of this has come generally in the last 6 to 9 months. Therefore, what happens is that if once anti-incumbency has settled in, all you can do through these schemes is reduce it. And that's what the survey is showing. The survey clearly is showing that there are issues which Mr. Gehlot, like law and order, remains vulnerable on. There are issues like a 500 rupee gas cylinder, which people are appreciating. But is it too little too late? Did the Congress hemorrhage in Rajasthan for much too long? And I believe that the real crisis, Rahul, is not so much Ashok Gehlot personally. Most people you look at in Rajasthan don't target Mr. Gehlot the person. He's seen as relatively affable. But the MLAs have got away in Rajasthan with, dare one say, according to local sources, local level corruption. And that has not been stymied because Ashok Gehlot was always conscious, if I take on the MLAs beyond a point, will my government remain or not? So I think those first 3 years affected him and he's tried to make a comeback in the last 2 years. I fear it may be too late.
In the show, Shehzad's been holding up this so-called Lal diary, the red diary, which comes from Rajendra Ghuda. So there are two questions on that in this poll. One is, will the Ghuda episode harm the Congress? 58% of the respondents say yes, 40% say no. Should he have been sacked? Was this right? Was this wrong? 45% say yes, he should have been sacked. 46% say he shouldn't have been sacked. And what the BJP has done is they really run away with this issue. He actually comes from the BSP originally, so he's not really a Congress loyalist in that way.
One point that he has not been kicked out of the Congress party even now. He continues to be in the Congress and he's not the only person. By the way, this red diary is not the only episode. Bharat Singh, an MLA, has written that the Khanan mining minister, the mining minister is the biggest mining mafia. And these issues of corruption have been going on in every department every year. In transfer posting, there was such a racket that when Govind Dotasara said to teachers that does racket take place, they said in front of his face, yes, it takes place. And even the other scams that have taken place, the paper leak scam is the biggest scam. And Rajdeep needs to be counted on 2 points. See, Rajdeep, you said that Mr. Gehlot is managing his popularity. You know, right now, in the sense that after 2.5 years, or these schemes are trying to make him look a little better than the first 3 years. Let me tell you, if Mr. Gehlot is so popular, then why is the Congress not declaring a sitting CM as their face for the campaign? You know, it is not just BJP versus Congress. It is BJP versus Congress versus Gehlot. Gehlot is on his pink poster coming out of the PR boxes, and that PR box is putting only him on the poster with a pink color. There is no Congress hand, no Congress Neta, no Sonia Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi on it. So Mr. Gehlot is actually fighting even the Congress party.
Rajendra
and
Gouda,
finally,
this episode, do you think Rohit Parihar will hurt the Congress? There are two things. You have the recency factor. This poll has happened at a time when this episode is just broken, so naturally it looks like a big issue. But in the longer run, given your understanding of the history of Rajasthan politics, do you think Gehlot once again set to repeat history?
Given the recent history of Rajasthan, you know, the way they keep changing the government, incumbent government, so it is a very, very uphill task for Ashok Gehlot. But I must say that, you know, compared to the last time when he finished with 21 out of 200, the situation is far better. If the elections are held today, you know, I would give him around 60 to 70 seats easily to Congress, which is a very good performance, you know, before 4 months before that, you know. And he can, from here, he can, you know, take it a little better also. That means he is in the position
I mean, it could get better, but it could get worse as well. Both things can happen.
Yeah, I was about to say that, you know, the way Buddha thing, you know, Prime Minister has picked it up. But, you know, that people have a short memory. Unless center backs it up with, you know, some conclusive investigation, people are going to forget this thing, because Buddha himself hardly has any credibility, you know. Sometime he was, you know, he used to be loyalist to Gehlot, then, you know, BSP before that, then became a pilot supporter. So everybody knows about his vested interest also, you know. So, and everybody is asking that what were income tax officials doing at that point of time? If actually Buddha went there and, you know, snatched diary from income tax officer or stole that what were the officers do? Did they lodge a complaint? Sure. This is the question is asked to Virendra Singh also.
BJP's big hopes is that Prime Minister Modi going to Rajasthan will help them. So Yashwant Deshmukh and his team asked this question in this poll: will the Prime Minister's visits help the BJP in Rajasthan? 61% of the respondents say yes, 30% say no. Then we come to that vexed question: should the BJP project a chief ministerial candidate? 56% of the overall respondents say yes, the BJP should project a chief ministerial candidate. 30% say no. 62% of BJP supporters say the BJP should project a chief ministerial candidate. Only 28% of BJP supporters say no. Yashwant Deshmukh, this question and the response that has emerged seems to suggest BJP voters would like a chief ministerial candidate. But when I look at the other question about the performance of Vasundhara Raje, 39% say they're not satisfied at all. In this scenario, is your poll looked at purely statistically, seeming to suggest that there should be a chief ministerial candidate outside Mrs. Raje?
Well, I think, Rahul, that all the elections now in India, people do expect to see the face that they feel is going to form the government. They are going to vote for who is going to head the government. So for all, you know, theoretically speaking, we are following the Westminster model. For practically speaking, the Indian electorate is pretty much in the presidential form of mindset as far as the voting intent is concerned. So if they are asking majority of them that they need clarity on who is going to be the chief minister, it is a justified, you know, way of saying the things. But as far as the BJP is concerned, it's a kind of a dilemma, because I think Vasundhara Raje still remains the most popular BJP face within the BJP, but somehow...
Okay, so let me show that question to the viewers. I haven't shown that data set yet, so let me just do that for a moment. Who is the most popular face of the Bharatiya Janata Party? When Yashwant and his team asked this question, here is what the responses looked like. 36% of the respondents say Vasundhara Raje should be the chief ministerial face. Gajendra Shekhawat comes in at a distant 9, 1/4 the popularity of the former chief minister. None of these is 33%, Arjun Megwal is 7%. And I want to look at what the responses are amongst BJP supporters. So there isn't much of a difference. If you look at BJP supporters, 37% of the BJP supporters want Vasundhara Raje. The rest of them have very, very marginal numbers. So that's the way the data looks like. Rajdeep, how would you be decoding this? So they don't think she's done a good job. 39% say she hasn't been effective, yet they think that she's the number one choice.
You see, the fact is, this is an election taking place with Ashok Gehlot as the chief minister. Vasundhara Raje was the chief minister 5 years ago. So when you ask this question, people are not going to judge Vasundhara Raje in the manner in which they would have judged her 5 years ago. You will remember 5 years ago what was the slogan in Rajasthan. Modi tujhse bair nahi, Vasundhara teri khair nahi. There was anger against Vasundhara Raje's government. Just as at the moment there seems to be anger against Ashok Gehlot's MLAs. Vasundhara Raje, the individual, remains, I believe, very popular, particularly in comparison with other BJP leaders. You see, many of this is also done. You also look for who else is there. One of the difficulties that the BJP has had in Rajasthan, and to some extent the Congress, is that they don't have the next generation ready. At least the Congress could claim that Sachin Pilot, possibly in the next decade, is the next generation leader. Who is the BJP's next generation leader? For 20 years, Vasundhara Raje has towered over all else, with all others within the BJP. So naturally, as the poll shows, she's the most popular. But her government, particularly in 2018, was not seen as a popular government, and Vasundhara suffered as a result personally. So for all her high popularity, she was not able to offset anti-incumbency. Let's be clear, Rahul. Since 1993, barring Bhairav Singh Shekhawat that year, where he won when he was re-elected, that too with independent supports in the aftermath of the Babri Masjid demolition, no government has been re-elected in Rajasthan. So Ashok Gehlot is fighting history in a way when he's going to the polls this time.
But Rajdeep, I want to ask about two elections, 2013 and 2018. Can you tell me the vote difference between BJP and Congress in 2018? Where you say there was a great anti-incumbency against Vasundhara. We were only 0.5% behind them. 1 second. And in the election in 2013, where Ashok Gehlot got routed with 21 seats and we won 163 seats, well, that is now you're saying that Ashok Gehlot only faces little bit anti-incumbency. It's against his MLAs. So this kind of double standard should not be there. Secondly,
I wanted to make a point here. See, I think what Rajdeep is saying, what is happening that the BJP wanted to remove Vasundhara Raje. It's not just what Vasundhara Teri Khair Nahi, there is a personality issue also. The current BJP does not like leaders of the kinds of Vasundhara Raje who act as regional satraps. Now in that what happened, first Karnataka loss, and now after that as surveys and internal assessments, Vasundhara's significance has risen. Now if you see what has happened in the last few days, in the last 2 PM visits in Sikar as well as the other, Vasundhara Raje has been praised by the Prime Minister. It has also happened that she has been given greater eminence. Then Amit Shah went to Rajasthan and he praised Vasundhara Raje. Increasingly, I have seen Vasundhara Raje camp going easy. It's not pressurizing, muscle flexing that I am going to be XYZ. A kind of a truce is coming, but BJP eventually is looking at a scenario where PM is the main template. Vasundhara is also there to keep her happy because without her it is difficult.
But Vasundhara would like to be projected as the chief ministerial face. If you get her to work and somebody else becomes chief minister, she'll feel very shortchanged.
Right now she is happy that she has come here because 2 months ago, she was in the wilderness. So she has graduated onto better things. She is attending a lot of functions. Her significance is understood, but BJP wants change. And that again, very interesting. What the BJP is doing through Prime Minister, if the Prime Minister as a template in Rajasthan succeeds, in the assembly elections, in the close by Lok Sabha elections, Prime Minister becomes a more prominent face in Rajasthan. And that's why very cleverly what Gehlot is doing, he's creating a Modi versus Gehlot battle in Rajasthan so that Vasundhara is out. He's matching him on beneficiary policies, the schemes which he's announcing.
No, but his popularity pales in comparison with that of the Prime Minister.
Pales,
so that's
but
not a smart
see,
idea.
In Rajasthan, when the vote happens, Ashok Gehlot, remember one thing, Rahul, one thing very interesting. Last time when we did a poll tracker, the government was at 39 popularity, very satisfied. It is again 39, and that's the percentage of vote that Congress got last time around.
Okay, so
there is something consistent about Gehlot.
So let's now come to the business end of this poll, which is the vote share and the seat share. I'll start by showing you the vote share projections done by Yashwant Deshmukh and his team at C Voter. This is the first poll for Rajasthan. The sea water projection for Rajasthan is that the Congress's vote share in comparison with the 2018 assembly elections will be 2% more than last time. So 41% vote share projected for the Congress, which given the fact that you've got a government in power, your vote share going up 2% is not insignificant. It's a pretty solid performance. The BJP, though, getting a 7% bump in their vote share from the last time when it was 39, this time at 46. In a larger sense, signaling once again the growing bipolarity of our electoral process in the assembly context. So, Congress's vote share up 2%, BJP's vote share up 7%. That gives the BJP a 5% gap. Now, no matter how Yashwant and his team convert the seats in a bipolar contest, a 5% gap between the winner and the runner-up, Rajdeep would suggest one-way traffic.
Just
yes.
one line before Rajdeep.
You never let Rajdeep speak.
No, please.
Okay, Rajdeep's in a magnanimous mood.
Rajdeep will allow me. One second, please.
No, my worry is if I don't let him speak, he will go on Twitter and say I was not allowed to speak. So please go ahead.
You can't be scared of Shehzad, Rajdeep.
In all of this, you're wasting time and not allowing me to speak. All you 3 hours, I know your strategy. But now, let me tell you that 46% vote share that you're giving us is actually higher than the vote share we got in 2013, which was 45%. And at that time, we ramped home with 163. Rahul, with all due respect to Rahul Srivastav ji, and he's an institution in himself, but sir, I go to Rajasthan every second week. The amount of anti-incumbency, particularly against Mr. Gehlot, especially on issues of youth and betrayal of the youth, paper leaks, etc., is astounding. And therefore, the people, they are saying only one nara in Rajasthan. ये है लूट की दुकान और झूठ का बाजार, इसको बंद करना है. This is the nara in Rajasthan.
Yashwant Deshmukh, you know, seat projection is complex. Vote projection is very scientific because it's really from what you've picked up. A 5% gap for the BJP in vote share would suggest no matter how you divide it into seats, no matter what kind of formulae you run, the BJP very clearly poised in the state of Rajasthan to come back to power from your data.
Well, Rahul, you are correct in your assessment. What is happening is now the complete bipolarity that we have also seen in Karnataka. That bipolarity in Karnataka helped the Congress against, riding the anti-incumbency wave. And this is what is happening in Rajasthan as well. I think the majority of the anti-incumbent votes, which were not in BJP kitty 5 years back, are kind of polarizing more for the BJP similarly, just like it did in favor of Congress in Karnataka. So, I mean, in seats projection, Rahul, we are very conservative. So we will not do anything which will be looking like a pendulum one way or the other. We always maintain that vote share is something which is
style. He likes to bat like Rahul Dravid and not like Surya Kumar Yadav or Mahendra Singh Dhoni.
So I would just like to keep it like that. Yes, the 5% vote share gap is significant. What is happening is I believe that a lot many smaller parties are going to be squeezed out in this process as an process starts further deep into this territory. There are significant regional variations as well, Rahul. In Shekhawati, still Congress is maintaining in our survey a lead, very slender lead, but still they are maintaining a lead in Shekhawati. But in Mewar and Marwar, these are the two major regions where BJP is getting a significant lead over there.
So let me come now to the seat share numbers, because that's what viewers are really interested in. It might be a pollster's nightmare, but that's where the mirch and the masala really lies. So here it is. For what it's worth, the vote share converted into seat share by the team at C Voter would suggest that the Congress could fall from 100 to 83. If this is indeed anywhere close to 83, it would still be Ashok Gehlot's best performance when he was up for re-election. The BJP up from 73 to 114, although it can be argued with a 5% vote share gap. The Yashwant Deshmukh, if he wasn't batting like Rahul Dravid and instead batting like Surya Kumar Yadav, could have made this number bigger. He's chosen to be conservative. That's his style. We're going by his numbers. 41 seats gained over the last time. The BSP crashing from 6 to 0. Others from 21 crashing to 3. So both the leading parties becoming stronger, relatively speaking, in comparison with the third front and the others. Rajdeep, looking at the numbers very pensively, you want to jump in and say something?
No, looking at these numbers, if I was the BJP, I would be quietly satisfied. But if I was the Congress party, I would actually be clutching to some hope. which seemed completely non-existent a year ago. Non-existent to the extent
No, but
that
why are you imagining the ball can't swing the other way? This 83 can become 60.
Look, there are two ways this. If you remember 2011, when Mr. Gehlot was wiped out, I think he got just 21 or 25 seats. The vote percentage of the Congress was 33%. There was a 12% gap at that time. Now you are saying, as per the survey, the gap is about 4%. Presumably, Yashwant would correct me, but it's about a 3% margin of error, I'm presuming.
Sure.
Given that the 3% of margin of error, it appears that Ashok Gehlot, as per this poll, has made some kind of a comeback, both in terms of his personal popularity and the support for his various schemes like the gas cylinder at rupees 500. It gives the Congress some hope to cling on to, even as the BJP will believe that they all, as of now, this is the one state where they are in pole position.
You can read the data the other way around. You can interpret it whichever way you want, because the other way to look at the same data is that once voters get a sense that it is inevitable that the BJP is going to win and that Ashok Gehlot is on his way out because of the winner's bandwagon effect, more and more of the voters who are on the fence or veering towards Ashok Gehlot and the Congress may jump towards the BJP, and that 5% vote share gap could actually go up as you move from end July to November, December.
With one small caveat, Rahul, Rajasthan is an interesting state that while it is bipolar or appears bipolar, some of these smaller parties have their areas of influence which are very, very...
The RLP, the BTP.
The independents, the BSP...
seats last time with a lot of votes. I think they won something close to 14% votes.
So you'll have specific regions. You see, also in the caste mix, and Rajasthan caste mix matters. If you look at Eastern Rajasthan, the role that the Gujar community plays is important. Significantly, in 2018, with Sachin Pilot as the president of the Rajasthan Congress, the Congress swept Eastern Rajasthan. Now, we don't know where what position Mr. Pilot will have in the Congress strategy. So all of this will matter, I think, in the next 4 or 5 months. It is a state where region-wise, the vote variation does take place.
That's where campaign and momentum then becomes important. Sharad Kumar, you're on the ground. आपके हिसाब से ये जो अगर 83 है तो ये गहलोत का री-इलेक्शन के टाइम पे बेस्ट परफॉर्मेंस होगा. आपके हिसाब से क्या मोमेंटम इस तरीके से बन रहा है कि गहलोत जी जो गैप है उसको कम कर पाएंगे, या मोमेंटम इस तरीके से बन रहा है कि ये फासला और बढ़ सकता है बीजेपी और कांग्रेस के बीच में?
अभी तक तो हम इसको पीक देख रहे हैं और कई लोग कह रहे हैं कि आज समय से पहले पीक पर कांग्रेस पहुंच गई है. लेकिन देखिए, उसमें अगर बिना किसी एनालिसिस की बात करें तो वसुंधरा राजे अगर नहीं बनती है फेस तो बीजेपी को 20 सीटों का असर पड़ सकता है. अगर बीजेपी 140 आना चाह रही है तो 120 आ सकती है, 120 आना चाह रही है तो 100 आ सकती है. वसुंधरा राजे के सीएम फेस बनने से बीजेपी की सरकार बनाने पर असर पड़ेगा, इसमें थोड़ा लोग संदेह व्यक्त कर रहे हैं. क्योंकि वोटर अगर बीजेपी से पूछिएगा वसुंधरा राजे को चाहते हैं तो कहते हैं हाँ, अगर नहीं उनको फेस किया जाता है तो क्या आप बीजेपी को वोट नहीं देंगे, तो कहते हैं नहीं, बीजेपी को तो वोट देंगे. यहाँ अंतर कांग्रेस में है. मैं तो सोच रहा हूं कि 21% वो कौन लोग हैं कांग्रेस के जो सचिन पायलट को पसंद करते हैं, क्योंकि हालत यह है कि विधायक मंत्री तो छोड़िए, कोई अधिकारी और पत्रकार तक सचिन पायलट के घर जाना पसंद नहीं करता है कि क्या पता सरकार देख लेगी. अगर इसके बाद भी 21% लोग अगर चाह रहे हैं तो समझिए कि 21% जो सचिन पायलट के चाहने वाले हैं वो क्या अशोक गहलोत को वोट देने जा रहे हैं. कांग्रेस को विचारधारा से बंधी हुई पार्टी नहीं है, वो नहीं देंगे आप, मुझे जहां तक मैं कांग्रेस को जानता हूं. तो ये समझना चाहिए जो राजदीप कह रहे थे कि ईस्टर्न बेल्ट में 40 सीटों का नुकसान हो सकता है, और जो शेखावटी का इलाका हो या नागौर का इलाका हो, तो सचिन पायलट एक फैक्टर है. अगर 21% जैसा कि अगर बता रहे हैं ये सर्वे में कि 21% लोग चाह रहे हैं उनको सीएम फेस, वो क्यों चाह रहे हैं? क्योंकि वो हाशिए पर पड़े हैं और कांग्रेस में जो पावर में नहीं रहता उसको कोई पूछता नहीं है. तो वो वोटर बहुत क्रूशियल है. इसलिए कह रहे हैं कि अशोक गहलोत अगर सचिन पायलट के कंबाइंड फोर्स में नहीं आते हैं तो फिर ये जीतती हुई पार्टी नहीं दिखाई दे रही है. भले ही काम के आधार पर अशोक गहलोत बहुत ज़्यादा अपने आप को प्रोजेक्ट कर रहे हो, क्योंकि जो बात कर रहे थे यशवंत देशमुख, मेवाड़ और मारवाड़ अभी भी कांग्रेस के सबसे कमज़ोर स्थिति है. हम जो स्टिंगर से बात कर रहे थे, आप भी कर रहे होंगे, आप भी कर रहे थे, तो मेवाड़ और जो मारवाड़ का हमने रिजल्ट देखा उसमें बीजेपी बहुत अच्छा कर रही है और मारवाड़ जो अशोक गहलोत का इलाका है. तो निश्चित रूप से अशोक गहलोत सबको अच्छे लगते हैं। अगर राजस्थान में जनता से पूछिएगा, अब वो उनको अच्छा नहीं लग रहा होगा बीजेपी के प्रवक्ता को, लेकिन वोट कोई देने नहीं निकलता है। मैं पिछले तीसरे कार्यकाल से देख रहा हूँ।
रोहित पारेख, your sense of the momentum, your sense of the momentum, is the momentum, as Rajdeep is suggesting, building in a way that Gehlot is being able to close the gap and build his position, or is the momentum building in a way that it will become one-way traffic in favor of the BJP?
The momentum is being built up. Another factor is, it's not the smaller party. It's more of the independents and rebels who, normally are 20 to 30 MLAs are always from independent or rebels in the last 2, 3, 4 elections. So that is a very crucial factor which cannot be assessed as of now. These things take place only after the candidates are announced. And when you say about momentum, yes, I personally feel if Vasundhara Raje is given more prominence, then definitely BJP is getting into some kind of momentum. These days, when we talk to BJP leaders also, they also say that tempo is not being built up as of now. PM is definitely very popular. Nobody can say, but people also know that PM is PM. He can't be the CM here. And if BJP doesn't project or, bring somebody in, for the same problem happened with Congress. That is why, because they didn't declare Gehlot or pilot at that moment of time. And so there was always a lot of problem there.
Rohan
So
Gupta,
that
from
is
the
the
Congress's perspective, the big concern, as it looks like a ship adrift, it could sail further away from the shore of victory.
I think, Rahul, the way we are progressing towards election, you will see that the way this government is performing, we are delivering our results and people are responding. 2 days back, we delivered 155 crores subsidy for gas cylinders. Every day the schemes are coming up. My point, I want to give two perspectives. The way BJP spoiled Karnataka, I was there in Karnataka for more than one and a half months. They don't like the strong leaders. The politics of the country is changing. People want the local leaders. If you see overall BJP
So you
across
want them
India,
to project
they are weakest in
Vasundhara?
Rajasthan.
You want them
They
to
are weakest in
project
Rajasthan.
Vasundhara ji? Is that what you're
I'm
saying?
saying they are weakest in. See, the polls are saying that they have to project Vasundhara. Obviously, they will not be able to. I dare BJP spokesperson, can he tell that they will project Vasundhara? No, because infighting in Rajasthan is too
He'll turn
such a
around
strong.
and ask you, can you say you'll project Gehlot?
Rahul, to take Rohan Gupta's point, he mentioned Karnataka. In Karnataka, DK Shivkumar and Siddaramaiah work together.
Yeah, and
we
we are
haven't
seeing-
just
we
a
are
minute.
seeing how they are working together right
We
now.
haven't seen
Thank
that.
you.
No, 1 minute. We haven't seen that in Rajasthan. You see, absolutely right that if Sachin Pilot and Ashok Gehlot are seen even as on the eve of election to be taking on each other on, it's not going to work for the Congress. You need all hands on deck. Plus, just to correct you, Rahul, I didn't say Congress has the momentum.
let me come
I
in,
still
please.
believe BJP is in pole position. The Congress is in a better position today than it was a year ago.
Shehzad,
That's all I'm saying.
First of all, we are seeing how DK and BK Hariprasad and Siddaramaiah are working together along with the 30. Please don't interrupt. With the 30.
I'm talking
MLAs.
about pre-election.
Pre-election, post-election, and we are seeing how development work has been stopped by DK Shivkumar. Another thing is that today, one thing is very clear, that the election in Rajasthan is primarily because Ashok Gehlot has not delivered to the youth. The law and order situation has affected the Dalits and women the most. And one cylinder is not going to change that for the women of Rajasthan. The statements that have come from Rajasthan leaders, including Shanti Dhariwal and Ashok Gehlot himself, have made a house in the heart of women of Rajasthan. And secondly, my dear friend Rajdeep, I am writing this on 28th of July. If Congress gets more than 40 seats, you hold this up to me.
So
Congress
this
is less than
Shehzad
40
Poonawala
seats.
copying from Arvind Kejriwal's
Congress
playbook,
is less than
saying
40
आप
seats.
पर्ची
You
ले
keep it
लो.
with you.
नहीं देखो ये सब मुझे मत
Congress
दो.
less than 40
Yeah,
seats.
go ahead, Rahul Srivastava.
I want to make a point here.
ये
See-
पेपर नहीं चलता.
See,
Congress less
there
than
is a
40.
huge difference, Rajdeep, between the BJP and the Congress when you talk about infighting. The Congress infighting is a very serious business.
That's right.
Sachin Pilot versus Gehlot. Now, in both the parties, there will be a tussle by the local leaders to see their men, more of them, get the tickets. In Rajasthan, the failure of the High Command to assert itself means Gehlot will actually walk away with more number of seats as far as Rajasthan is concerned. Will the two Gujaratis in Delhi allow that to happen in Rajasthan? Can it happen in BJP that Vasundhara will walk away with majority seats? No. That's where lies the difference. Both the people we are talking about will be fighting for number of seats they get. They can
Sure,
give
and
to their
it's not-
men.
no, I agree
But in BJP, you cannot do what you can do in Congress, Rajdeep.
No, I agree, and
that's
it's not
why the
just
BJP
that.
has
It's
an
not just
advantage.
that. When I mentioned that there were 2 phases to Gehlot's leadership, if you remember, Rahul, post 2020, there was dramatic changes. The entire organization of the Congress was put into some kind of comatose. All the district chiefs were removed, dissolved. Various committees were dissolved. They've only come now in July to appointing new committee members. The BJP does not have a strong leader to replace Vasundhara Raje, in my view, at the moment, but the BJP has a strong organization. The Congress has a relatively popular leader in Mr. Gehlot and a young leader in Sachin Pilot. They do not have the organization at the moment, and they suffer from the history of a state with anti-incumbency every 5 years.
Yashwant Deshmukh, in your reading of the data, what could change from here? What are the X factors you're looking at in Rajasthan?
Well, Rahul, I don't see that things change big time when things are going bad for one section and going good for the other one. Very dramatically things changing from here, it doesn't really happen in that way, in my experience. However, the Prime Minister's campaign is critical. That remains to be seen. And yes, BJP tried its level best in 4.5 years to give an alternative face of Vasundhara Raje, but it seems it couldn't read successfully in that campaign, whichever it was. And now we see that central leadership coming around.
Okay, so I think the sum and substance of what is being said is this, that the wisdom of the crowds, and there is some wisdom in the wisdom of the crowds because it gives you a directional sense of what's happening. If the BJP were to project Vasundhara Raje Scindia as its chief ministerial face, the party is likely to fare better because then there would be the double engine effect in play. Captain Modi, Vice Captain Scindia, and they both together could push the BJP towards a massive victory. The risk the BJP can take is they can play only on the Prime Minister's face, still cross the halfway mark, but not end up with that massive victory as they would if they had Vasundhara Raje. The Central High Command not very pleased with the former Rajasthan Chief Minister. They would like someone new to take over. They've tried to project Gajendra Shekhawat in the past. That didn't work out well with Vasundhara Raje. She pushed back. So you can't disregard a factor as influential as Vasundhara Raje Scindia. So that's the question.
Do you think that any Congress worker who's loyal to Sachin Pilot is going to work when Mr. Pilot has not been declared even as a CM face for this time? You really think that is happening?
So both those are problems.
People are going to vote for BJP.
Now
you take my word, 40 nahi milne wala hai
Sachin
Congress
Pilot
ko.
men who rebelled may not even get tickets. Now, if Gehlot manages to put his men there, is Sachin going to accept it? It's not going to happen.
You see,
so Congress has some very serious trouble.
Mr. Gehlot, even if he's losing because of various factors, including the history of anti-incumbency, he may not want to be in a situation where he completely collapses like 2011 because that's the end of his political career. So he will ideally want to be at least 70, 75. He wants an honorable, if at all it is to be a defeat, it should be an honorable defeat because that gives him a continuing toehold in Rajasthan's politics. We've seen last time what was the buzz in 2018? That the Congress didn't want a massive victory in Rajasthan because massive victory would have meant Sachin Pilot becoming chief minister. So you had a strange situation where the Congress just limped over the halfway mark. Factionalism remains the Congress's biggest challenge in different states. They won Karnataka because they were united. Where the Congress is united, they have more than half a chance in state elections. Where they are not, they are in big trouble.
Remember also the BJP in its current manifestation is able to seize an opportunity and make it big if the tailwinds are riding in their favor. So Messrs. Modi, Shah and Nadda will go out of their way to ensure that they can go as far up beyond the 114 mark where they stand right now. And momentum and narratives matter. In Karnataka, it seemed the Congress was winning. That seemed to help the Congress party here. As word goes out, in the state that the BJP is winning, will they pick up extra votes because of the winner's bandwagon effect? So we'll track all of this very, very closely. I want to thank all our guests for joining us for what's been a fascinating hour of political conversation. We'll slip into a break. We'll be back with the political stock exchange. I hope you have a great weekend. See you soon.
forecast now. Delhi, maximum 34 and minimum 25 degrees. Mumbai, maximum 29 and minimum 25 degrees. Kolkata, maximum 34 and minimum 27 degrees. Bangalore, maximum 28 and minimum 21 degrees. Chennai, maximum 36 and minimum 28 degrees. Hyderabad, maximum 28 and minimum 23 degrees.
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Apple iPhone 15 series will most likely launch in the month of September, but buyers may be in for a shock. The prices may go up substantially, especially for the Pro models. Barclays analyst Tim Long says iPhone 15 Pro will be $100 more expensive compared to the iPhone 14 Pro, and the Pro Max model will be a full $200 more expensive. He says the starting price of the normal Pro model will be around $1,100, whereas the Pro Max model will start at almost $1,300.
So in India, Danny, will the iPhone finally breach the 2 lakh rupee price point?
So let's do a little math here to understand that. The current most expensive iPhone in the country, which is the iPhone 14 Pro Max 1TB model, sells for around rupees 1,89,900, which is roughly around $2,300. And at the same time, the model in US costs just $1,500 plus taxes. So if we just add $200 to the total price in India for the iPhone 15 Pro Max, it comes down to $2,500, which is a whopping 2,05,000. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but the next generation iPhones could easily breach the 2 lakh mark.
are watching India Today.
Hello, very good afternoon. You're watching India Today Television. I'm Sneha Mordani. A quick check of the stories we're tracking this Saturday afternoon first. India Alliance on two-day Manipur visit to assess the Manipur situation. Union Minister Anurag Thakur hits out. Asks if the delegation will visit Rajasthan and Bengal as well.
मेरा सवाल है कांग्रेस के नेताओं से और विपक्षी दल के नेताओं से, क्या राजस्थान में प्रतिदिन महिलाओं के साथ दुष्कर्म होता है? तो पश्चिम बंगाल और राजस्थान इंतजार कर रहे हैं इन 20 सदस्यों का.
Big claim by ex-Army Chief MM Naravane on Manipur says foreign role can't be ruled out, flags Chinese aid to insurgents. Union Minister backs the claim. Big team, BJP re-jig ahead of 2024 elections. Bandi Sanjay appointed as National General Secretary. Anil K. Antony made National Secretary. Ex-AMU Vice Chancellor Tariq Mansoor appointed as Party Vice President. Controversy over Udupi video escalates after anticipatory bail. BJP ups the ante, seeks the arrest of 3 students, accuses the Siddaramaiah government of appeasement. Calcutta High Court judge sparks a controversy, is asking Mamata government to hire bulldozers from Yogi Sarkar. TMC hits back, calls it a bid to appease the BJP. Some news just coming in. Let's go straight to developments. With the opposition bloc has now reached violence hit Manipur. Opposition MPs are to assess the situation in Manipur. Opposition leaders to meet victims of the violence here. India team or India Alliance says Manipur has been forgotten by Prime Minister Narendra Modi.
हमारा उद्देश्य ये है कि हम चुराचांदपुर, इम्फाल ईस्ट और मोइरांग के शिविर में जाके लोगों की जो चिंताएं हैं, उन पे जो गुजरी है, उनका जो दर्द है, उसको समझें और उसी दर्द को आने वाले समय में पार्लियामेंट में प्रकाशित करें और प्रधानमंत्री से जानें कि वो किस तरीके से मणिपुर में वापस शांति और अमन का वातावरण बनाएंगे। भारत की अखंडता और मणिपुर की अखंडता को लेकर हमारी चिंता है और आज हम आए हैं तो सिर्फ लोगों का दर्द सुनने के लिए और उनकी जो आकांक्षाएं हैं उसको आने वाले समय में पार्लियामेंट के अंदर प्रकाशित करने के लिए।
As they're getting us up to speed with all developments, Ashutosh, tell us about the plan of the MPs here. What are they going to do? They have already reached Imphal.
Well, Sneha, they just landed 30 minutes ago to Imphal airport, and from here via choppers, all this delegation of the India team has gone to Churachandpur, which has been the epicenter of the clashes. And right upon landing, in fact, what I'm learning that they have already landed to Churachandpur, and from there they will be taken by the local group, including the ITLF and other several groups from the Kuki communities. They will be taking to all the opposition parties along with their local leadership to the relief camps in Churachandpur. They will be visiting 2 relief camps, and after meeting the victims, again the team will be coming back to Imphal, and from here they'll be travelling via road to Moirang. Moirang is the Meitei-dominated area, and this is the bordering of Bishnupur and Churachandpur. So there are also Meitei women who are in the relief camps. So these opposition parties will be meeting victims from both the sides, both the communities in different relief camps. And more likely around 8 p.m. this evening, the leaders have planned to address a press conference. And tomorrow there's a meeting scheduled with the governor when the opposition parties will give a memorandum to the governor over the current situation. And this also makes very significant because the opposition demanding answers and response from the Prime Minister in the Parliament. So right after visiting from here, more likely they will also talk about what they have seen, what they have witnessed on a first-hand account in the Parliament on Monday. So this makes really a very significant visit by the opposition parties where they'll have access to the victims directly, going to the relief camp, see the situation directly, and of course they will get a nomination to target the government in the ongoing session of the Parliament on Monday.
Okay, thanking you for the moment for getting us those details, Ashutosh Mishra, with that report as far as the plan of the MPs, opposition MPs in Imphal is concerned, and Manipur is concerned, rather. More news coming in. The opposition bloc is in Manipur and Union Minister has hit out. Anurag Thakur says souls of 21 MPs don't try for women of West Bengal. Opposition can go to Manipur, not Bengal. Opposition is afraid of coming to Bengal. It's the question that Thakur is asking.
आज उसी बंगाल की धरती में जहां ऐसे महान संतों ने और स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने, बहुत बड़े नेताओं ने, विचारकों ने जन्म लिया, आज उसी धरती पर मानवता का कत्ल भी हो रहा है। बहन बेटियों की इज्जत लूटने का काम भी हो रहा है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के कार्यकर्ताओं की कहीं हत्या में शामिल होते हैं, कहीं मारपीट में शामिल होते हैं, कहीं महिलाओं को निवस्त्र करके घुमाने का काम, और यहाँ की कानून व्यवस्था तो पूरी तरह से चरमरा गई है।
Bharadwaj has more details. In fact, Amit, this is what the government has been saying for days together now. Each time the opposition raises Manipur, the government says that look at the plight of women, in your own states. Essentially, Bengal and Rajasthan is what he's referring to.
Well, absolutely right, Sneha. You know, the government, the union ministers, the BJP leaders have been raising the issue of Rajasthan and West Bengal as and when the opposition keeps on talking about Manipur. Now, remember, today is the day when nearly 20 to 21 leaders from the India bloc parties have gone to Manipur. They are visiting the violence hit areas. Asutosh was also sharing with us. But on that very day, you have Anurag Thakur, the union minister, asking or rather attacking the opposition parties, telling them not to indulge in political tourism, and also asking as to whether these opposition parties will be filing a similar report on the crimes against women being perpetrated in the state of Rajasthan and the state of West Bengal. You also heard Anurag Thakur right there as to how he was referring to certain cases of alleged attack on the BJP workers as well as women in West Bengal. So a clear-cut attack coming from the central government's minister, union minister, asking the opposition parties to refrain from political tourism and asking as to whether they'll be also submitting a report of crime against women in state of Rajasthan and West Bengal. But Sneha, remember, you will also have to recall the statement given by Manoj Jha, the RJD MP in the parliament in Rajya Sabha, where he had said that, comparing the crime being perpetrated against women in state of Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh and West Bengal with Manipur would not be right because there's an, ethnic violence angle that is connected with the cases happening in Manipur. Back to you.
All right, Amit, thanking you for the moment for getting us those details. And staying with Manipur here. Former Indian Army Chief M.M. Naravane has hit out at the Chinese involvement in Manipur violence. General Naravane has said that there is involvement of foreign agencies in Manipur and that can't be ruled out, as he flagged the Chinese aid to various insurgent groups. Naravane has said that instability in border states is bad for the country's overall national security. BJP has backed General Naravane, saying that China is known to spread unrest in other nations.
Security is very important. And if there is instability, not only in our neighboring country, but in our border state, then that instability is bad for our overall national security. Definitely, the instability does not help us in the overall national security construct, and the involvement of foreign agencies, not only say cannot be rolled out, but I will say is definitely there. Especially Chinese aid to the various insurgent groups, they have been helping them for so many years.
मैतेई कम्युनिटी है, मैतेई कम्युनिटी को मणिपुर हाईकोर्ट ने शेड्यूल्ड ट्राइब का दर्जा देने का निर्णय लिया। उसके बाद वहाँ की जो ओरिजिनल कुकी कम्युनिटी है, ये कुकी कम्युनिटी ने इसका कड़ा विरोध किया और कुकी कम्युनिटी के तरफ से और मैतेई कम्युनिटी में दोनों में बहुत बड़ा संघर्ष होता रहा और ये 2-2.5 महीने से ये संघर्ष जारी है। तो मुझे लगता है कि भाई इसमें कुछ लोग म्यांमार से, कुछ लोग आतंकवादी एक्टिविटीज वाले आ रहे, इसी तरह की जानकारी है। जरूर भारत सरकार वहाँ ध्यान दे रही है।
चाइना पहले से ही विस्तारवादी नीति को अपनाए हुए है। कभी असम, कभी अरुणाचल, कभी दूसरी जगह पर अपना दावा करता रहता है। दूसरे देशों पर भी, ताइवान या दूसरे देशों पर भी दावा करता है। इस सभी विषयों को अगर देखा जाए तो स्वाभाविक बात है कि जो हिमालयन रीजन है, पहले लेह लद्दाख में असल में 1962 की गलती, ये आज एक मजबूत सरकार है, उस वक्त इन्होंने बहुत सा हमारा इलाका हथियाया था। ये जो मणिपुर हिंसा हुई है, हो सकता है कि चाइना का ही हाथ हो और इससे कोई इनकार नहीं किया जा सकता।
जो हमारे एक्स चीफ जनरल नरवाने जी ने कहा है, बिल्कुल सही कहा है और ये हमारे इंटेलिजेंस ऑपरेटिव्स को भी और गवर्नमेंट को भी पता है। चाइना की मेडलिंग जो है हिंदुस्तान के अफेयर्स के अंदर बड़ी पुरानी है। वो नक्सल्स वगैरह को भी आर्म कर रहे हैं, ट्रेनिंग भी दे रहे हैं उनको। ईस्टर्न सेक्टर में जो हमारा नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न सेक्टर था, उसमें वो जो नागा रिबल्स हैं उनको भी ट्रेन वगैरह किया है। और ये सारी ट्रेनिंग वगैरह जो होती है ये म्यांमार के फॉरेस्ट में होती है। वहाँ पे उन्होंने कैंप्स वगैरह बनाए हैं, पैसा भेजते हैं, हथियार भेजते हैं उनको।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's direct attack at Congress leader Rahul Gandhi. The Prime Minister said, and that's the story we're breaking at this hour, those running their hate shops through politics of language will get shot. भाषा की राजनीति करके नफरत की दुकान चलाने वालों की दुकान बंद हो जाएगी, is what the Prime Minister said.
एकरूपता आहे,
ही में संसद में नेशनल रिसर्च फाउंडेशन बिल पेश करने के लिए कैबिनेट ने अपनी मंजूरी दे दी। राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति के तहत नेशनल करिकुलम फ्रेमवर्क भी जल्द ही लागू हो रहा है। मुझे बताया गया है कि फाउंडेशन स्टेज यानी 3 से 8 साल के बच्चों के लिए फ्रेमवर्क तैयार भी हो गया है। बाकी के लिए करिकुलम बहुत जल्द ही हो जाएगा। स्वाभाविक तौर पर
Details, in fact, we'll be getting that soundbite for you as well in a few moments from now of the Prime Minister's direct attack at Congress leader Rahul Gandhi, who has said now that those running their hate shops through politics of language will get shot. That's what the Prime Minister has said. Amit Bhardwaj has more on that. Amit, take us through the comments of the Prime Minister. What exactly and in what context has he said this?
Well, Sneha, Prime Minister Narendra Modi was addressing and giving his inaugural speech at the Akhil Bharatiya Shiksha Samagam being organized at the newly built ITPO, the Pragati Maidan complex. And right there, while advocating for the national education policy, he also said that in the earlier days, what used to happen that very talented people who did not know how to speak English were discriminated against. That time has changed now. Now you have education policy which does discrimination on the basis of language. Rather, regional languages are being promoted by the central government, by his government under the NEP. And whilst giving these references, Prime Minister Narendra Modi also said that certain people who used to run their shop of hate, nafrat ki dukaan, all those nafrat ki dukaan will be shut down after this inclusion of the regional languages in the national education policy. The Prime Minister saying that people who are running their shop of hatred on the basis of regional languages, on the basis of politics of languages, that will be shut by the national education policy of 2022.
Okay.
And because this Modi government's new education policy promotes regional languages, accommodates regional languages, and is empowering people from people who speak native languages.
Okay.
Back to you, Sneha.
Thanking you, Amit, for the moment for getting us those details. Moving on, ahead of 2024 Lok Sabha elections, the BJP has intensified its mission south. Home Minister Amit Shah has kicked off BJP's Padyatra in Tamil Nadu and Mann and Makkal. The 6-month-long Padyatra will cover 234 constituencies of the state, the assembly constituencies, and is being led by Tamil Nadu BJP Chief Annamalai. It involves covering over 1,770 kilometers by foot and the remaining distance in the rural areas by vehicles. Training guns at the Tamil Nadu government, Home Minister Amit Shah has slammed Chief Minister M.K. Stalin, calling DMK the most corrupt party in India right now. Speaking at the launch of this, the Home Minister also attacked Stalin, asking him to be ashamed for keeping Senthil Balaji, a minister in his cabinet, in spite of the fact that he has been arrested by the ED already. Home Minister Amit Shah went on to attack the opposition parties of India Alliance, launching scathing attack. He said that opposition leaders want their sons, their daughters and their relatives to become prime ministers or chief ministers. They don't really care for Tamil Nadu's empowerment or, for that matter, India's empowerment.
विपक्ष का जो टोला है वो भारत का विकास नहीं करना चाहता है, अपने परिवार का विकास करना चाहता है। सोनिया गांधी को, राहुल गांधी जी को प्रधानमंत्री बनाना है, स्टालिन जी को, उदयनिधि को मुख्यमंत्री बनाना है, लालू जी को, तेजस्वी को मुख्यमंत्री बनाना है, ममता दीदी को अपने भतीजे को मुख्यमंत्री बनाना है और उद्धव ठाकरे जी को अपने बेटे को मुख्यमंत्री बनाना है। वो भारत और तमिलनाडु को एम्पावर करना नहीं चाहते, वो अपने बेटे, भतीजे, बेटियों को एम्पावर करना चाहते हैं।
सब लोग जानता है डीएमके मीन्स करप्ट पॉलिटिक्स है, डीएमके मीन्स कट्टा पंचायत है, डीएमके मीन्स कट्टा डायनास्टी है। करप्ट प्रैक्टिसेस के वजह से उनको गिरफ्तार किया है। उसके बाद में भी इस्तीफा दिया, उन्होंने भी दिया नहीं, इस्तीफा मांगा नहीं तिरु स्टालिन। उनको इस्तीफा मांगे तो उनको सीक्रेट बाहर आकर के सेंथिल बालाजी बता सकता है, उसका वजह से सीक्रेट छुपाने के लिए।
The Supreme Court has also said that the ED has got the right, to arrest Senthil Balaji, and I think it is high time Mr. Stalin understand the issue, and he should have removed Senthil Balaji long back. But as Mr. Amit Shah said, he may spill out suspense about the ruling party or the big family.
भारतीय जनता पार्टी के नेता और जिसमें अमित शाह जी भी सम्मिलित हैं, वो इंडिया अलायंस बनने से, अपोजिशन सब इकट्ठे होने से बहुत हताश हैं और इधर उधर की बातें वो कर रहे हैं, लोगों को भ्रमित करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं। लेकिन एक अलायंस है, सब लोग एकजुट मिले हैं, अपने अपने वोट बैंक के साथ में, अपने अपनी राजनीतिक शक्ति और ताकत के साथ में एकजुट हुए हैं, उससे परेशानी है।
Amit Shah ji in Chennai has rightly said that Mr. Stalin wants his son to become the CM. Srimati Sonia Gandhi wants his son to become the PM. The BRS party CM wants his son to become the CM. So like that, these parties who are regional and also members of those new bloc, earlier UPA, are trying to mislead the people with various issues, but people in this country have rejected such alliances earlier. People will not have any faith in such alliances.
Some news just coming in. The Maharashtra ATS investigating a terror module where some terror suspects were planning to launch terror attacks in Rajasthan. Took custody of 2 suspects from Pune police. The ATS officials have found Google images of Chabad House in Kolaba, Mumbai from the accused duo. Chabad House was also a target during the 26/11 attacks. ATS had then conveyed this information to the Mumbai police South region, following which security has been beefed up at Chabad House in Kolaba. The 2 arrested accused have been identified as Mohammad Imran and Mohammad Yunus Khan. Also Mohammad Saki Khan, both in fact residents of Ratnam in Madhya Pradesh. In fact, one of their aides is still wanted. The third accused is said to be Al-Sufa module or the Ratlam module of the ISIS, a resident of Kondwa in Pune who gave shelter to the above-mentioned accused from Ratlam. He has been identified as Qatil Daskir Pathan, alias Abdul Qadir, age 32. The 4th person arrested in front of Ratnagiri was called for questioning, then arrested. Divyesh has more details on the big crackdown on terror by the Maharashtra ATS. Divyesh, get us more details about what were they really planning and how deep does this rot really run?
Well, Sneha, this particular module is called Al-Sufa module or the Ratnam module of the ISIS. The Maharashtra ATS, the Maharashtra Anti-Terrorism Squad, is investigating this module, and while they were investigating this case on 18th of July, 2 suspects, while they were trying to steal a bike, were arrested by the Pune police. During further investigation, it was learned that these 2 suspects, Mohammad Imran and Mohammad Yunus Ahmad Saki Khan, were under radar of the National Investigation Agency for terror activities as well. Maharashtra ATS took their custody and found out that they were planning to launch terror attacks in various districts of Rajasthan. They were being helped by various other people who are part of the Ratlam module or part of the Al-Sufa module of the ICS.
Yes. Divyesh getting us all of those details from Mumbai. It's time for a break. Here on the other side, monsoon wreaking havoc in Uttar Pradesh's Mathura. The people there were seen rushing to safety, wading through chest-deep water after continuous downpour flooded the city.
watching India Today.
In politics, everyone has an opinion, but I have the data. Whose stock is rising? Whose graph is falling? Track India's political stock exchange. Unmatched, unmissable data analytics. The only show on News TV where numbers do the talking. India's most credible poll tracker. The Political Stock Exchange with Rahul Kanwal only on India Today.
Watching India Today.
We have some news just coming in. Flood politics seems to be peaking in Delhi. Atishi says ex-gratia hasn't reached all families. It's a fresh controversy over ex-gratia payment for flood-affected families in Delhi. The minister has written to the Chief Secretary. Atishi has questioned why only 197 families have been given flood relief compensation so far. What about the rest is the question that Atishi is asking. Amit has more details. Amit, how many people are due to get this ex-gratia payment from the government of Delhi, and why haven't they got it? What is the explanation to this figure?
Well, Sneha, we know how the Yamuna floods had affected several parts of the national capital, and the impact of the Yamuna floods was seen in nearly 6 districts of the national capital. And that is why Kejriwal government had decided that it would give rupees 10,000 as ex gratia compensation to all the families which have been affected by the Yamuna floods. As we know, as per the government, Delhi government numbers, less than 5,000 people have been included in the list who are eligible to get that ex gratia compensation from the Delhi government. Now, what has happened in the past 10 days since this policy was announced, that only 197 families have been given this compensation amount, and this had triggered another tussle between the Delhi bureaucracy and the Delhi government, or the Kejriwal cabinet for that matter. You have Revenue Minister Atishi writing to the Chief Secretary asking as to why, despite the fact that it's been 10 days, 37 top bureaucrats of the national capital were deployed in this particular work, relief work. Along with that, 6 districts magistrates, SDMs were involved in this work, as to why only 197 families have been paid the ex gratia amount, and why the amount hasn't been paid to all affected families. Along with that, the Revenue Minister has also ordered that on Saturday, that is today and tomorrow, on these 2 days, all the officers should sit together so that the money should be sent to compensation, eligible families on Monday itself.
This is the Minister Atishi, in fact, putting up the Chief Secretary over what she says is laxity. Thanking you, Amit, for getting us those details. A quick check now of news from across the country, and we're reporting on monsoon mayhem. Let's take a look at the top developments from flood-affected areas. Amid the continuous rain, the Godavari River has started overflowing in Andhra Pradesh's Bhadrachalam. The rise in the water level has inundated several nearby low-lying areas. Madhya Pradesh also continues to battle torrential downpours. Roads have been inundated and several houses have been flooded after rains in many parts of the state. These are pictures coming in from Devas. Heavy rainfall lashed several parts of Rajasthan. In the state capital, Jaipur, roads were completely flooded after the torrential downpour. Traffic in the city has been impacted as well. In the hilly state of Uttarakhand, Badrinath National Highway 7 has been washed out in a landslide. The landfall was triggered by incessant rains. Chamoli district has seen heavy rainfall. The national capital and its adjoining areas also witnessed heavy rainfall this morning today. Rain led to waterlogging in several parts of the city, impacting the traffic in Delhi and neighbouring Noida. That story and much more up on our website as well. That's indiatoday.in. You can also download the India Today app for more news and updates. Keep watching India Today.
You are watching India Today.